Hey. Okay, it's the 19th of November, and hope everyone's well. And here is we've got another nightly market recap session. So, first and foremost, how did it go? Hope everyone had a great trading day. It's one which is that's unusually, you know, both-sided, really, if I'm allowed to say that, really, because we had, I think, a part of the market was moving. The indices was rallying while the internals were shrinking. That's actually interesting. But let me just share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about right here, because it's just one of those days, really. I think the market likes to look forward to something, and there it was just waiting. And apparently, of course, we were all waiting on Nvidia, and so yes. So let's just start with the Qs. Really, the Q is still quite below the line. I don't think we are in a bear market yet. Of course, yes. We have actually fallen below the trend line. And here we are. So we are literally just looking below this right here, and we shall see how it goes. Okay, that's that one. But generally, the markets today, like I said again, the indices was huge, but the indices were huge, but the internals it was a bit all over the place. So let's actually have a look at Bitcoin. I think we could see somebody shared in the group BlackRock were terribly extremely selling Bitcoin at a great rate. But yes, of course, I mean you could actually make a case right here for you could make a case right here for Bitcoin and say, look, right here is a trend line. Okay, that's in yellow, but let me delete that and I'll just use a different color actually. You could make a case right there, say, Bitcoin is right at this zone here. But again, it's actually just broken below, and you might think, okay, maybe it's time for it to make a bounce. We don't know. It's something I'm still looking at, really. I think I'm going based on levels, and as far as levels is concerned, I don't think the dump is done with Bitcoin. And then again, I think it's this time when these things happen that this whole story comes in. Is it a store of value? Because if you're going to look at Bitcoin, it has actually, I mean, this is the kind of, literally, that's just September. So just this month alone, Bitcoin is done, it's shaved off 1/3 of its value. So really an immediate store of value. Yes, it's going up, but look, I don't know how this is going or where it's going to end. But right now, it's not pretty, and that's all I'm gonna say. So as you can see right here, that is a 30%. So, and as a result of that, it's there's a huge coincidence with other Bitcoin related, CleanSpark stock, for example. I think CleanSpark was horrible. The whole of yesterday, even today as well, it's below a 10. So you can see FinPac was literally at 23 at some point this year, and it collapsed below 10. And you can see right there, a huge 5% down. So that's more than 50% down. 5% yesterday. Even the light ones, BTBT, high, digital, they all just went down. And even, let's look at the mother of this one's coin. I've actually been talking about Coinbase, and with Coinbase, I picked this one and I said, look, my target for Coinbase for the group was 220, and we shall see if we're still going to get it or not. So right now it went all the way down here, and you can see Coinbase literally touching just about 45-ish. But again, if we're just going to look at Nvidia came to save the day. Nvidia came to save the day. I was going to talk about something else, but in the time being, Nvidia came to save the day. I think the reported record sales, strong guidance, it helps, this kind of helps to soothe the jitters about an AI bubble, which has been reverberating in the market all over the last week. That's that one there. The surging demand in AI data center chips and fueled by terrific October quarter. Shares of the world's most valuable publicly listed company gained 2.85% initially. I think we can see now it's at 5%. That's a huge one. The result and the release of delayed job reports are expected to provide key signals for investors. The Commerce Department plans to approve the sale of Nvidia and competitor AMD's, which are the two companies based in the UAE and Saudi Arabia. And earlier, Elon Musk said xAI will work with Nvidia and a Saudi Arabian partner to develop the giant data center in the kingdom. The announcements coincided with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's visit to the US, and I think he promised a billion investment in America. Also, there's something I heard about, I think I read this about Oracle, actually. I don't know how this is something I saw online from Financial Times, and they said that Oracle's, you can see, just close the whole gap there. It says Oracle's, the 1 trillion. Oracle's deal. I was looking at something. I was talking about something else. Oracle's deal with OpenAI. I think there's something wrong with the calculation, and it's down by about 74 billion. And as we can see right there, Oracle has been, from a high of 345, it's gone down by almost 100 points. Okay, which is not great, in terms of. But Oracle is still a huge profitable mega business. So, at this point in the time in the markets, I do say personally, this is time where you probably just want to be nibbling on the positions you trust, because it's very hard right now to time anything, if anything at all, because crude oil as well. If you look at crude oil was collapsing also today. Not particularly crude oil, but I'm going to look at the particular commodities I was looking at. Crude oil hasn't actually been able to state its stake. Is it going up? Is it going down? It's just stuck in this zone for a while. This one right here is the other one I was going to talk about. This has been like a staple for a while, and I've been saying. I was expecting a 4,000, so I still think there's another 1,000 points which is coming off here. That is a huge collapse, 5%. Probably should have been in the short and be bi-directional in my trade, but I'm just staying at staring at this cocoa for now, and we'll see how it goes. Again, Nvidia's actually helped a lot when you can see semiconductors, which is just semiconductors ETF. That is just 3 shares. That is 3 actually. That just a reverberating reversal, and we could see a 7%, 7.5%. That's amazing. Another one is I wanted to talk about something else. Yes, just give me a quick second, really, to have another look. I wanted to talk about. Okay, yes. So I think the key thing is, is this whole thing a bubble or is it not? I think because we particularly part of me has been focused. I've been trying to look and read how President Trump has been playing. I think yesterday we talked about call, which is the one I wanted to quickly mention, and I talked about a buy point there of 75 yesterday, and we can see it right here now. 80. It's just a double bottom right here, and we think a reversal is true. So yeah, that's one here. You got to have your wits with you, be able to understand where a reversal you think a reversal is due, and you start nibbling. But particularly, I've been thinking, monitoring or try to understand President Trump's tweets. And what I noticed, sorry, the language, sorry, the microphone here isn't. Okay, what I noticed was that, I feel like there's got to be a play with the XLV. XLV has been what has been the weakest so far in the year, but we shall see. XLV hasn't been as great, but XLV now is back to all-time highs. And do we think, yeah, playing at a resistance, and as a result of that, UNH got weaker. So this is what I think. I think the president might just, again, this is not an advice, so it's just speculation. It might just make an investment somewhere around the XLV sector. But we don't know. We know this sector is deeply, deeply flawed, with insurance. But again, this hasn't been great either. We have quite a few companies who, I mean, it just feels like the past couple of weeks, the entire AI rally has just been taken off by this dip that we had. So, we'll see how these things go. But tomorrow, particularly Palantir as well. I mean, I've been punching a lot of stickers on here. Palantir hasn't been fantastic itself, but it looks like it's been helped by Nvidia. I mean, I will still in a sell the rig position. I don't know. You know, I've got a few, what I'm going to say is you got to have a look and see how this thing play for a couple of days before you make your move. I do have my positions which I'm looking at. I believe everyone should have a few positions which they look at. You don't just want to dive, two legs in straight away. You want to test you don't want to test the depth of the water with 2 feet. Jump in a little bit, see how it goes before let the market stabilize. Like somebody would say, don't buy the dip, buy the strength after the dips. But that's all I'm looking at for now. And particularly, will this Nvidia rally hold? I think the fundamentals is what people are hoping for. The dip is because of the fears in the markets. And, so like I said again, is this still a sell the rip kind of market, or just hold on and fold your arms? But we'll see how it goes. It looks like it's a, sorry, it looks like it's a, you could see that 5%, and it seems to be holding after hours. Look, there's a magnet there of a $200 magnet. So we'll see how it goes. And then until then, we'll just see how it plays tomorrow. And then I'll report myself again. We'll do another market report. Until then, guys, I hope everyone plays safe. And of course, if you don't know what you're doing, of course, give us a shout. But until then, take it easy, and we shall see tomorrow after the market again. You take care.